Welcome, I'm Cassandra, and this is your general and love forecast for April 2018. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So let's jump into this. Okay, so for our first card, which is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs, we have the Page of Wands in the reverse position. So perhaps some of you have gotten some disappointing news. This is a strong possibility. This news could have been about a project that you have going. It could be about a job. It could be about a personal situation. But more times than not, it would be more like a project, especially if it's one that's creative. It could also be about, education as well. Typically, I associate education with all of the pages, just the education's a little bit different. Anywho, so, with the Page of Wands in the reverse position, sometimes the aggressive side can come out. So some of you could perhaps be feeling a bit more aggressive these days, and most of you probably have a pretty good reason for feeling that way. But you want to make sure you don't take it too far, because some may look at you like you're being a troublemaker or you're being a bully. Everyone's perception is different, but I gotta throw that out there. Now, to clarify, we have the Ace of Coins in the reversed position. So, perhaps you guys have tried to start something new and you just keep having to deal with obstacles and opposition. Maybe some of you are just at a point where you're just indecisive about what you want to do. Maybe some of you are lacking motivation. Maybe some of you are a bit fearful about whether you can actually succeed at what you want. And maybe some of you are just simply worried and anxious about being weighed down with more responsibility and troubles. The Ace of Coins in reverse is about us getting a new start, within the financial sector. And a lot of times when it's in the reverse position, it's indicating that perhaps we've made a wrong turn. Maybe we didn't analyze the situation clearly enough. We didn't account for, unexpected expenses popping up. The Ace of Coins in reverse is definitely a warning to not overextend yourself financially. Yeah, so definitely want to be careful here. Okay, for our circumstances, we have the Judgment card. Now, with the Judgment card, this is like the cosmic wake-up call. And there's always a choice that we have to make with the Judgment card in particular. And anytime the Judgment card comes up, it's a huge decision. It's a life-changing type of decision that we're facing. Yeah, and when we clarify, we have the Queen of Cups in the reverse position. So with the Queen of Cups in reverse, this definitely shows that the emotions are definitely out of balance. And there's a tendency to think with the emotions rather than with the logic. And we really don't want to be making decisions based off of our emotions, especially for Gemini. You know, you guys are ruled by the air element, you know, so logic. So perhaps you guys are facing an internal conflict about this big decision. And you know, this decision is like there's an inevitable sense of you have to make this choice. It's a huge life choice. It's a change, and it's a decision that you have to make, but it's a big one. You know, so obviously a lot of you guys are probably feeling pretty conflicted about this particular choice. And that's okay. You know, this is like a epic type of decision, you know. It's one that can completely change your life, you know, but you must realize that your free will is on the line, so to speak. So, you know, you want to make the right choice. And, you know, especially with the Judgment card, this can be about absolution as well. So, this can indicate that you're, you know, being a bit overly emotional when it comes to making a choice. But perhaps some of you might have some guilt, some sorrows, you know, past mistakes. Now the upside here is with the Judgment card, you can be forgiven. You know, you can find absolution here with this particular energy. So if you owe someone an apology, don't be afraid to give it, you know. The Judgment card can also be like our huge transformation, you know, I can't even think of the words at this moment. I have to channel Gemini energy every time I do readings for you guys, and I tend to get scattered because, of course, I'm Virgo, so I want, you know, everything to be detailed. So, yeah, I can get scattered myself in this energy. I'll come back to it. Because it'll come back for certain. Okay, so this would be the focus. And here we have the Page of Swords in the reverse position. So with the Page of Swords in reverse, if you feel or know that the truth had been withheld from you from someone or a few someones in your life, the truth definitely gets revealed under this particular energy here. The truth will be revealed. And the truth will be revealed even if you're the one deceiving yourself, which is quite possible. Now, with the Page of Swords in reverse, a lot of times this brings a sudden change. And we have to make a decision. And a lot of times this decision, you know, has to be made quickly. But these events can be sudden that occur. And some of them can even have a bit of a strange type of twist to them. And, you know, a lot of times with the Page of Swords in reverse, there's a tendency to not be very trusting. And for some of you, rightfully so. And so there can be a sense of constantly feeling like you have to look over your shoulder. And sometimes that can lead to a little bit of paranoia. But my best advice is definitely try to remove yourself away from people that you know for a fact that you cannot trust. Try to remove yourself out of that type of situation. But there are definitely some sort of major change that's coming. And it could be very unexpected, or it can be, one that has a very strange twist to it. But overall, these changes are necessary. Sometimes they can be positive changes, sometimes it can be a negative experience that leads us through this, but just know that we learn a great amount here under this energy. Now, we have the Hermit card to clarify. So, the Page of Swords in reverse, the overall energy can be a lot of confusion and feeling scattered and just simply being confused about which way should I go, who should I trust, which choice should I make for this particular thing and that and this and that. The Hermit is saying you already know the answers. For some of you, it might be a good thing to just try to not react immediately. Go within and be introspective like the Hermit and listen to your higher mind, or, your gut feeling, however you want to look at it. But to go within and have some inner reflection would be a very positive thing, and it will definitely help get you through this type of energy. Now, for a few of you, you could seek out some counsel and advice. And this person would be very wise, so definitely consider the advice that they give you. Again, go within and reflect on it. Do what you feel is best for you, ultimately, in the end. Regardless, just do what you know is best and what feels best for you. Okay, so this would be your recent past or the energy that is currently passing. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's in the reverse position. So a lot of you may have felt like you've really had to work a lot harder to make things happen. Some of you may feel like you just haven't had any luck. Some of you may be feeling like if it wasn't for bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. But ultimately, with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, it's mainly about us having to get out there and get our hands dirty and, actually apply ourselves more and work harder to make things happen, because that magical luck is just not there to fall into our lap to make everything come together. So we have to work harder for what we want. And then it's clarified by the Ten of Wands in the reverse position. So it seems that a lot of you guys had been carrying some very heavy burdens, and you just was like, you know what? I'm having to work hard enough to make things happen. I'm dropping these burdens, A lot of times, family members or friends, someone wants help. You're already carrying a heavy load yourself, and then someone else wants you to help them out, so then you try to take on other people's burdens, and it's too damn much. Too much for one person, And you finally saw that and you were like, you know what? I'm done. I have enough irons in the fire myself. I can't handle anybody else's shit. It's just that simple. Now, this would be the present, the here, the now energy, and we have the Lover's card. So some of you could be focused on a relationship right now, or with the idea of having a relationship. It can go either way. And, of course, we're talking Gemini, so, some of you may not want a relationship. So this can also be about making choices. And the Lover's card is also ruled by the sign of Gemini. So maybe some of you guys are having to make some choices in your life. Perhaps it's regarding a romantic situation. Do you want a romantic situation or do you not? Are you already involved in one? Do you want to continue it or do you not? This can go many different ways. Okay, so we clarify we get the Strength card in the reverse position. So anytime the Strength card comes up in reverse, I automatically go to fear is in control. And so when this happens, we tend to make decisions based off of fear. And that's if we can make a decision at all. But fear is the biggest element with the Strength card in the reverse position. Now, it can also indicate that perhaps maybe some of you are trying to make your point to someone and you just might push too much. So there's a possibility that you may try to, physically make your point of view. Not that you're going to, get truly physical with someone, but you may push too much, okay, in order to make your point to someone. But you really don't need to push, because through being loving and understanding and compassionate, that's how you can make your point, and just be patient. But that's why I mentioned fear first, because for me, I'm feeling more fear associated here for you guys. And perhaps some of you just absolutely fear being in a relationship. Maybe some of you just don't trust that everything will be okay. Maybe some of you feel like, I've already been hurt too much, I don't want to get hurt. Maybe some of you haven't been in a relationship before and you just don't like the idea of trusting someone with your heart and your emotions and, being vulnerable with them. So maybe that just scares the hell out of you. And maybe there's just simply a choice that you need to make about your personal life, and you're probably feeling a bit indecisive because you've got fear controlling your mind, getting the better of you. But you can take back control, and you need to take back control. Don't let fear make your decisions for you, because fear will paralyze you. It will keep you in the same spot like a hamster on a wheel. You're running, but you're not making it anywhere. So don't let fear make your decisions for you. And I know that's easier said than done, but I just don't want you guys letting fear get the upper hand here, because when strength is in the reverse position, fear tends to get the upper hand. And then this can cause us to react in a more forceful manner than we normally would. Okay, so this would be near future. Here we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse position. Let me just throw this out here. I don't like this energy at all. I mean, in the upright position, I love this card in the upright position. And this card is Gemini, actually, but it's in the reverse position. So, anytime this card pops up in the reverse position, this is like, you know, a heads up, because there's trouble ahead. So this is definitely indicating that there is some sort of trouble ahead in your near future. And this trouble may come from someone who is opposed to you. Someone who is opposed to your thoughts, your actions. You know, this person could be jealous of you. Quite a possibility. But with this overall energy, one is not able to fully express or communicate how they're feeling. A lot of times with this card in the reverse position, deception, dishonesty comes up. A lot of times with this card, someone's looking to start a war with you, essentially. Now, maybe you may have potentially started it, maybe you didn't, but there's somebody that's looking to start problems for you, looking to start a war. They're just simply a troublemaker. And they don't just want to rock the boat, they want to sink the boat. So, you do need to be careful. Now, the Knight of Swords in the reverse position, in the upright position, it's all about getting to the truth of the matter. And when it's in the reverse position, there's still that sense of, you know, we need to get to the truth of the matter. But unfortunately, in the reverse position, there's so much conflict and opposition that is attracted your way. And sometimes this can happen because you spoke the truth. And perhaps this person just did not like the fact that you spoke the truth. But you know what? Hey, if it's the truth and you know it's the absolute truth, then do not worry about what this person may think of you. Speak the truth. Even if you're a minority of one, speak it. The truth is the truth. That's why I love the truth. Because it never changes. It's always the same. So to clarify, we have the Ace of Swords in the reverse position. So this definitely indicates, again, this can be mental confusion, a lack of mental clarity. But this can also indicate trying to make something happen with too much force. So, yeah, you definitely want to be careful because you don't want to attract any more opposition, because this opposition here is bad enough. You don't want a crowd of people, okay? You could have one person potentially, you know, or a couple people that are opposing you and trying to cause problems for you. But if you continue to push and too much of a forceful way, you may push back in an extremely forceful manner, and then it can attract even more opposition. So then, you know, more problems. So you really want to be careful here. Now, the Ace of Swords in the upright position is all about getting the truth too. I look at the Ace of Swords like this is the sword that literally cuts through all the bullshit. I mean, excuse my French, but you know, it is what it is. You know, not everybody likes the truth. And those are typically people that have something to hide. So, you just want to be careful. You know, you don't want to harm anyone more than you have to. You know, when I say harm, I mean, you know, like verbally. Because when it comes to the swords, typically the tongue is the weapon. So you want to be careful of what you say and how you say it, because you can really hurt somebody. Even though someone may be trying to do that to you. But I always try to let people know, do defend yourself, but at the same time, try to be the bigger person. Try to be the more mature person. If you catch my drift, you know. Don't lower yourself down to the other person or the other people's level. You know, don't let them yank you down. You can make your point without being overly forceful. Okay, so this would be the attitude position, and here we have the Eight of Cups. So it looks like you've definitely walked away from a situation. You've abandoned a situation, you've walked away. You're going in quest of something much better. We could say something more spiritual, something that has higher meaning, whatever it may be. A lot of times this is the spiritual quest card, where you just desire and seek to have more than what you've had. And you're ready to go see, is the grass greener on the other side, you know? So there's a tendency to walk away from a situation. So some of you could walk away from a situation. And to clarify, there's the Lover's card. So some of you could be walking away from a relationship. Maybe you seek another relationship that has more importance, one that has more of a spiritual value to it. Yeah. Or maybe some of you are just ready to walk away from a relationship because you need a break and you want to enjoy some, you know, free time, some single time, some me time, you know? And that's okay too. And for those of you that are not in a relationship, you know, this could be about a friendship. This could be about a business partnership. Anytime we see the Lover's card, you know, automatically think of a marriage or a romantic relationship, but it doesn't have to be. It could be a friendship, you know, it can be a purely platonic relationship with someone else. So clearly you've decided to walk away from someone. It could be a marriage, could be a romantic relationship, could be a friendship, could be a business partnership. It would be someone that you had a bond with. Someone that you felt very close to, that you had a very special connection with. And maybe you're just ready to go on a spiritual quest. You're ready to have something with more meaning. And this could be more about you than it is about them. And for some of you, maybe this is just someone you needed to walk away from. Maybe it's been a long time coming. That can happen, so. Okay, so this is how other people see you. And here we have the Five of Swords in the reverse position. So with the Five of Swords, this card can indicate sneaky behavior or the desire to start conflict. So, And seeing as how this is the position of how other people see you, then other people's perception would be that you're the one being the troublemaker and that you're the one starting problems. Now, a lot of times with this card, when it pops out, it is indicating gossip. Okay? So, someone may look at you like you're gossiping or like you're spreading gossip. Or you could be the one who's being gossiped about. In this particular position, it can go both ways. And most of the time it's on both parties. There'll be gossip on both ends. But someone will definitely try to play the victim more than the other. So, definitely a possibility. Now, another possibility of this card is it can indicate a legal matter. So, for some of you, you could be dealing with the legal matter, as Judgment can indicate a legal matter as well. Yeah, definitely a possibility. So, a lot of times if it's a legal matter, it could be something that's more, like small claims. It's nothing I would consider, outright tragedy type. So, it would be something that would be more like small claims. Sometimes this can indicate that, that you win, but it could be like an empty victory. Sometimes there could be an unethical approach to how you win. And do remember, this is how other people are looking at you. I'm not saying they're correct, so definitely don't think that. I just got to put the different options out there because, every Gemini, sun, moon, and rising sign, you're all different. Everyone's on their own journey, and this is a reading for the masses, so it's not like a personal reading. This is done for the masses, so part of it will resonate, maybe none of it resonates, maybe all of it resonates with you. So take what resonates and leave the rest, That's how I look at it. But again, with the Five of Swords, this is not an easy energy to deal with. And if gossip is an issue, just address it immediately. Set things right. Speak your truth and be done with it, Don't feed it any more attention than what's absolutely necessary. There's plenty of people that are going to gossip. Plenty of haters out there, as I would call them. This can also indicate a difficult situation that could cause emotional problems, or a situation in which, causes you to have emotional problems. So, a little bit of loss can occur under this type of energy, but it's not a huge loss, so don't get too worried on that. But the upside here is there's no deception with this energy. Even though there's a desire to create conflict and gossiping, there isn't any deception. So perhaps maybe you speak up about someone, and maybe you're speaking, the whole truth, but you may be perceived as being a troublemaker and starting problems, but you were just speaking the truth. Now, we clarify, and we have the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. So, automatically this can definitely be about a relationship. This could be taking place within a relationship. Could be a romantic relationship, could be a platonic relationship. So perhaps you're having problems with someone that you've had a relationship with, or a friendship with, or a business partnership with. Now, with the Ace of Cups in the reverse position, a rushing out of emotions has taken place here, and this can indicate an emotional type of situation, that can cause emotional problems. And with the Ace of Cups in the reverse, our cup is empty, so the emotions are rushing out. So it can be a very emotional situation. And again, this could be a purely platonic type of thing, or it could be romantic, Again, every Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising is different. Now, with the Ace of Cups in reverse, a lot of times this can indicate a heart that's not as open to love as it should be. Sometimes that can be out of fear. Sometimes that can be out of mistrustfulness. Perhaps you've been hurt. Perhaps you're scared of being hurt. And so this can cause you to kind of block your heart off a bit. Yeah. But whatever this is, it definitely causes you to have a rushing out of emotion. So the situation will definitely provoke you emotionally. And with it being in the reverse, those emotions may not be the best ones that we want to have displayed, but, it is what it is. That's the fabulous thing about free will, is you can change your response. You can change how you respond. Gemini can be impulsive at times. And so, with all these situations occurring, it would be good to definitely not be so reactive immediately. Because, the Gemini energy, you guys, think quick, you move quick, you'll make decisions quick. So, try to be less reactive and more introspective, especially when it comes to making decisions, or when, if you may be presented with a argument or a battle, so to speak, definitely go within and reflect a little bit before you react, because that could be very helpful for you in the long run. Now, this is the hopes or fears position. We have the Queen of Wands in the reverse position. So when she is in the reverse position, you see the aggressiveness more. In the upright position, she's very, very confident. In the reverse position, she is aggressive or bossy, pushy, maybe even a little arrogant. Yeah, so not the best type of energy. Clarifying the devil. So obsessions, fears, addictions, karmic toxic relationships. So yeah, both of these seem like fears to me. Now for the final outcome, we have the Ten of Cups. So I love the Ten of Cups. This is what I refer to as the happily ever after card. It's where we're content. We get what we need to feel content. A lot of times this is about, the happy marriage, the happy home with children, that happily ever after, white picket fence and all that, But not everybody wants that. So overall, this is about us achieving that contentment that we want and that we need. Okay? And it would be emotional contentment. It is clarified by the Queen of Coins in the reverse position. So this could be indicating that some of you could be dealing with someone who might be considered a smother mother potentially. It's always a possibility. But a lot of times especially with this combination here, because when the Queen of Coins is in the upright position, she's about nurturing. She's about helping you to see your own material potential and your own potential to be able to make your own, money and whatnot. And she likes to teach people how to do so and stand behind the scenes and watch others grow. But when she's in the reverse position, she's experienced some hard times in her life. And she's definitely had some hard knocks, especially in the financial realm. Perhaps there's been a financial loss, a material loss, maybe both. Maybe for some of you, you could be experiencing issues with a home. Now, another side of this could be that you may have a fear of failing. Maybe you feel like you won't get your personal contentment, your happiness. Maybe you feel like you're going to fail. Maybe you need a boost of self-confidence, But a lot of times this is indicating that, you really need to recognize and accept your need for a nurturing relationship in your life. So some of you really might want that nurturing relationship. Maybe some of you have it, but things are, a little rocky right now. Maybe some of you don't have it and you're steadily trying to avoid it. But, there is a need to have that stable, nurturing relationship. Perhaps, you may have issues trusting. Maybe you lack motivation. You're just not ready for something like that. Everyone's different, and that's okay. But I believe I started with this. For some of you, this could indicate someone that's a bit of a smother mother. So some of you could be dealing with a woman or, a maternal type of figure in your life that could potentially be a bit smothering right now. Maybe you feel she's being overly critical of you and what you want. Maybe you know what's going to make you content and you know what you want and what you're going after, and maybe you feel like you're being criticized. Yeah. But, this doesn't necessarily have to be this could be a woman or a man. If you receive nurturing from this person, it can be male or female. So whoever you receive your nurturing from, you might be feeling like you're being smothered by them right now. Or some of you could be dealing with someone that is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Some of you could have Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your chart as well, in your natal chart. And maybe some of you are conflicted because you know you want this happy ever after, you want this contentment, but maybe you feel like you're not deserving of it. Maybe you're not able to trust. Maybe you're just making rationalizations. You're not ready for it. But when I say happily ever after and contentment, this doesn't mean you have to jump into a relationship. There are many different things that can make us feel content in emotional nature, in our emotional nature. You know, like achieving a dream that we've had, you know, and it could be a financial dream. But if it's something that you love and you have a lot of passion for, yeah, this would be emotional contentment. So perhaps some of you are criticizing yourself, doing the whole negative self-talk. Or some of you could actually be dealing with someone in your life that is like this. Maybe some of you have a roommate that's constantly criticizing you. Or maybe if you have a roommate, you feel like you're constantly having to be the adult. And, you know, clean up after everybody. And fix every single situation that goes wrong, you know. Okay, so for the bottom of the deck, we had the 8 of Coins. So the 8 of Coins is about having a skill that you're working towards mastering. Practice makes perfect. This skill that you have, you can actually have some recognition, and you can also achieve some financial rewards through this set of skills that you have. So whatever these skills are, definitely continue to work at them, because the more that we continue to do so, practice makes perfect. That's the saying I associate with the 8 of Coins, is practice makes perfect. Just continue working on your craft, your skills, so that you get better. And then you become a real asset to others, to other companies, to other people, because someone's going to need your skills, and then they will pay for them. Okay, so to clarify, we have the King of Cups in the reverse position. So with the King of Cups in reverse, this can indicate that, you know, a situation could be taking place on the home front. This could even be on the work front. Okay? This could be at work or at home. And it would be a bit emotionally volatile, okay? Yeah. So it would be a bit of a sticky situation. And with this particular situation, it can make you feel just moody. You may want to detach, you know, withdraw, be left alone. You know, with the King of Cups in the reverse position, there is a need for us to, you know, rise up and face an emotional issue with maturity and with wisdom, but sometimes you just don't want to. You just want to withdraw and be left alone. This king is very emotional, but he's very good at hiding it. And when he's in the reverse position, there is a tendency to really go inward and be very, very hard on yourself. And, you're already dealing with a bit of a situation here. You don't need to be beating yourself down any more than what's necessary. So it's okay to detach and withdraw for a little while. Do some inner reflection, some introspection, rather than just reacting. But yes, something upsetting could occur at work. So try to not react impulsively. Say some things that you may not be able to say back. You want to think things through so that there's no regrets on how you handled the situation. And again, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Do what you feel is right for you and your situation. Okay, so love oracle cards for the singles. First one, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So some of you could be, what's the word I'm looking for? Some of you could be considering getting into a relationship with someone. So some of you could be having heart-to-heart conversations. And then for the second card, we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay, so these will be for my Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs that are married or in a relationship. So the first one is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So some of you could be in a fairly new relationship, and this would be indicating that your feelings are definitely real and you should continue to explore them. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So you'll know which ones apply to you in your situation. Okay, I hope this reading has been helpful for you guys. I love you guys, and I will talk to you next month. I'm sending you blessings of healing, prosperity, and love. Talk to you next month.